Here's what the Vatican has been hiding for centuries. The Vatican, the heart of the Catholic Church, has a super secret section known as the Vatican Secret Archives, where historical documents and precious manuscripts are locked away. But it's not just the Vatican that's one of the most restricted places on the planet. There are other spots that will totally blow your mind. What are they hiding? Well, that's what we're going to uncover together. Join us as we explore the 15 most forbidden places in the world. Let's dive in. Number 1. Swiss Cryptocurrency Vault. Switzerland is famous not just for its delicious chocolate, amazing cheese, and quality watches. The country is also known for its banks. Now, Switzerland is making waves by opening private vaults hidden in the Alps, offering total security and privacy to their clients. Some of these vaults still accept cash, bonds, and gold, but others have started securing cryptocurrencies. One of the vault owners, Vinzenz Cazares, converted an old military bunker into a cryptocurrency vault. Today, the place meets all banking security standards and has a lot of clients. The exact location and the values stored are a secret, but it's known to be in the Swiss Alps. Since cryptocurrency isn't physical, these vaults store the access keys to digital assets. Breaking into these vaults is nearly impossible, because the security team is always updating protection methods and staying ahead of hackers. Number 2. Greenbrier Resort Hotel. The 5-star Greenbrier Resort Hotel is located in a beautiful area with natural mineral springs in the Allegheny Mountains of West Virginia. It's a popular spot for tourists. Besides its luxurious rooms, the hotel is famous for having a government bunker in its basement, which was top secret during the Cold War. The Greenbrier Resort started gaining popularity in the early 19th century, attracting America's most influential families, including presidents and politicians. That's why they built the first hotel there in 1858. Since many people wanted to relax in this beautiful place, they demolished the old hotel in 1922 and began building a large hotel complex with impressive architecture. During the Cold War, many Americans started building bomb shelters in their basements or backyards. So the U.S. government decided to build a bunker, choosing the Greenbrier Resort for its ideal mountain location. In 1961, the 112,000 square foot nuclear bunker was ready to accommodate members of the U.S. Congress and their families. The place could house up to 1,000 people, with enough food and water supplies for 60 days. To stay comfortable and safe, the bunker had rooms, a hospital, a kitchen, and a meeting room. Interestingly, even the staff at the Greenbrier Hotel didn't know about this shelter for 30 years. In 1992, journalists from the Washington Post uncovered the project and published a revealing article. After that, the bunker was decommissioned. Number 3. Mormon. Followers of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are known as Mormons. They believe that everyone is a spiritual child of God and have unique views about life. Mormons keep many details of their faith secret and have a special place to store important documents called the Granite Mountain in Utah. It's a very isolated spot inside a mountain, and sometimes they allow virtual tours to prove there's nothing sinister there. At least 50 people work there digitizing and archiving valuable documents, including the largest collection of genealogical records in the world, which they've been collecting since the 1930s. These documents are essential to the church's operations and history. Number 4. Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace is the main office and home of the British royal family. Security there is super tight. The Royal Guards, famous for their red and black uniforms and tall bearskin hats, keep watch over the palace. Anyone can watch the changing of the guard, but getting into the private rooms of the monarch is nearly impossible. However, there have been a few times when intruders have managed to get in. Today, the palace has 775 rooms, though the royal family uses only a small portion in the north wing. The palace also features a swimming pool, post office, medical clinic, a jewelry workshop, and other facilities needed for the monarch's comfort. The palace grounds are surrounded by a 13-foot-high wall with motion sensors and cameras. Plus, it is patrolled by the police and the Royal Guard. Despite all this security, there have been several break-in attacks. The most famous one happened in 1982 when a man named Michael Fagan, who was drunk, managed to get into the Queen's rooms twice. After that incident, palace security was beefed up. Number 5. Tesla's Gigafactory in Nevada. Tesla was the pioneer in making cars with lithium-ion batteries. Their first car came out in 2008 and quickly became popular for being eco-friendly. By 2024, Tesla had 7 factories around the world producing electric cars, lithium-ion batteries, and other innovative products. The Gigafactory in Nevada is the largest factory in the world, covering about 5.4 million square feet. It runs 24/7 and employs at least 10,000 people. The Nevada Gigafactory is designed to be completely powered by renewable energy and to have no environmental pollution. Solar panels and wind turbines have been installed for this purpose. All Tesla factories are equipped with the latest technology. Looking at the photos, you can see that Tesla not only brought innovative technologies to production, but also paid great attention to the design of the factory. They look like something from the future. Additionally, the company ensures that all its technologies and production methods are well protected. That's why all the factories have security systems and are located away from populated areas. Number 6. ADX Florence. One of the most secure prisons in the world is ADX Florence, near the city of Florence in Colorado. It's designed to hold the worst and most violent criminals. Some of the most infamous criminals of our time are locked up there. The prison was built in 1994 after an incident at Marion Prison in 1983 where inmates killed staff members. Following this, U.S. authorities decided to create a prison with special security measures for the most dangerous criminals. Florence is called the Alcatraz of the Rockies because it's super secure and escape-proof. Heavily armed guards and watchtowers monitor every move the inmates make, and high walls topped with razor wire prevent escapes. Inmates get just 1 hour of exercise a day in a closed area. The cells are about 7 by 12 feet, and all the furniture is bolted to the floor. The prison is designed so that each inmate is under constant surveillance. Some criminals have said they'd rather have the death penalty than be in ADX Florence. Number 7. Fort Knox. Fort Knox is a U.S. military base that used to be a tank school and now belongs to the U.S. Army. It's one of the most secure places not only in the U.S. but also in the world. This is because Fort Knox stores the country's gold reserves. The story of this place began in 1936. Before that, large gold deposits were kept in New York and San Francisco, but it wasn't safe to store so much gold in big cities near the ocean. In the early 1930s, the U.S. government bought gold from the public, and all that precious metal needed a safe place to be stored. For this mission, they decided to build a specific building. Today, Fort Knox is located in northern Kentucky. There are no roads or railways nearby, and there are no towns around it. The building is a 2-story structure surrounded by 3 fences and an open field of short grass. The vault is underneath the main building, granite walls covered in concrete, and a door that weighs 22 tons. To get in, you need a code that's split among several people. No one knows the full code. Fort Knox has a ton of sensors and security systems, including helicopters and even patrolling tanks. Even U.S. presidents can't get in. Inside the vault, there's 4,177 tons of gold, worth about $295 billion. To transport all that, you'd need at least 20 Boeing 737 planes. Now you can see why this place is one of the most protected in the world. Number 8. DMZ. After the Korean War ended in 1953, South Korea and North Korea established the Demilitarized Zone, DMZ, as a temporary truce symbol. The DMZ cuts across the Korean peninsula, marking the border between the two countries. 241 kilometers long and 4 kilometers wide, with 2 kilometers on each side. On the South Korean side of the DMZ, there are mountains, hills, and valleys, and some villages are still inhabited, with residents receiving government benefits. On the North Korean side, there are propaganda villages where residents act out daily life and the house lights are programmed. In South Korea, there are observation posts for tourists, but most of the DMZ is closed off and heavily guarded. Besides the barbed wire fence, there are minefields to prevent escapes and illegal crossing. Number 9. The White House. The White House, the official residence of the U.S. President, is one of the most famous attractions in Washington, D.C. Every year, 1.25 million tourists visit them. Despite its classic and simple design, security is very tight. Up to 5,000 people can visit daily, but they need to fill out a form with passport details and make the request at least 21 days in advance. Upon arrival, visitors show an official photo ID and go through a security check. This is just for public tours, but there are many other security measures at the White House. For example, planes are not allowed to fly near the White House. There's always security and police patrolling inside and outside the building, 24 hours a day. The place is surrounded by a wall over 3 meters high, with barbed wire and a surveillance system. So you can only enter the president's residence with the right permission. Any other attempt is completely forbidden. Number 10. Coca-Cola Vault. Coca-Cola is a super famous drink that a ton of people love. It was invented back in 1886 by an American pharmacist named John Stith Pemberton. 2 years later, Asa Candler founded the Coca-Cola Company. He decided to use the secret recipe as a cool marketing trick and to protect the company's intellectual property. Ever since then, the formula of Coca-Cola has been a well-kept secret, so protected that the company made a special vault just to keep the recipe safe. Until 2011, the formula was kept at SunTrust Bank. Now the vault is in Atlanta at the World of Coca-Cola. Unlike other parts of the museum, the vault is always closed and separated by a barrier. Visitors can only look at the vault from a distance. Going inside is a no-go. The recipe was passed from Pemberton to Candler, then to Ernest Woodruff and a group of investors. It was only written down on paper in 1919 as a guarantee for a loan Woodruff and his partners took to buy the company. However, there are still rumors that there's no secret ingredient in Coca-Cola and that the whole vault story is just a marketing stunt. Number 11. Vatican. In the small Vatican City in Rome, there's one of the most mysterious archives in the world. Until 2019, it was called Vatican Secret Archive, but now it's the Vatican Apostolic Archive. It was founded by Pope Paul V in 1610, but the collection started way earlier. Today, the archive has hundreds of thousands of valuable documents and books, and its shelves are 85 kilometers long. That shows just how much stuff is stored there. The archive isn't a state institution. All the documents belong to the Pope while he's in office, and then they pass to the next Pope. It's called secret because access is super restricted. Until the 19th century, almost no one could get in. Now things are a bit better. Scientists and historians can apply for access, but they have to fill out a bunch of forms and go through checks. Journalists can't get in, and visitors aren't allowed to bring cameras, cell phones, ink. They say the archive has documents proving the existence of aliens and even a time machine, so it's no wonder that access is limited. Number 12. Iron Mountain. Iron Mountain is an American company specializing in managing corporate information. Its data center and archive are located in an old limestone mine in Boyers, Pennsylvania. The place is about 158,000 square meters. The Iron Mountain data center is like an underground city, 22 levels. Hundreds of metal doors and armed guards protect government documents and confidential data from big international organizations, as well as original photos and recordings of musical hits. The archive holds Bill Gates's photo collection and the wills of Princess Diana and Charles Darwin. The first documents arrived at the archive in 1954, and in 1998, Iron Mountain bought it. The company has done a great job of keeping its archive secure. The underground bunker is super protected against tech and natural disasters. It has its own energy system, water and air treatment, and even a fire brigade. But the most impressive thing is that the place can withstand a nuclear explosion. Iron Mountain has around 3,000 employees and uses 500,000 computers and 20,000 servers to store data. Number 13. The Pentagon. The Pentagon is the headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense, named for its five-sided shape. It's located in Arlington County, Virginia, and was built in the early 1940s. Despite covering over 6.5 million square feet, the construction took only a year and a half. The Pentagon is known as one of the most secretive and secure buildings in the world. The Pentagon Force Protection Agency ensures its safety, taking strict measures against chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear attacks. Everyone entering goes through security checks, and no cameras or smartphones are allowed. After 9/11, the building was upgraded with blast-resistant windows, which helped save many lives that day. Additional security measures were also implemented, and command centers were moved underground. Now, even terrorist attacks aren't a huge threat for those working there. It's clear why the Pentagon is considered one of the safest buildings in the world. Number 14. Federal Reserve Bank. The vault at the Federal Reserve Bank is the largest gold depository in the world. It's located in the basement of the bank's building in Lower Manhattan, New York. About 25% of the world's gold bars, roughly 5,620 tons, are stored here, valued at least $260 billion. It's not just U.S. gold. 28 other countries also store their gold here. The U.S. share is only about 5%. The vault was built in 1924 with a granite foundation covered by a thick layer of concrete, allowing for heavy stacks of gold bars without any risk of the floor giving way. The main entrance is a metal arch about 7 feet high and weighs 140 tons. A 90-ton cylinder acts as the primary lock, ensuring the vault completely sealed. If someone got trapped inside with the door closed, it'd have enough air to survive for just 3 days. Even though many banks today use modern tech to secure their vaults, the Federal Reserve Bank believes the mechanical security installed back then is more reliable. Of course, this doesn't mean they lack security cameras and guards, making it impossible for anyone unauthorized to get inside. Number 15. Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is one of the most mysterious places on Earth. It's in the Atlantic Ocean, between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, covering just over 500,000 square miles. Given the large area, it's no surprise that shipwrecks and plane crashes happen there. But some people, especially conspiracy theorists, believe these accidents are caused by extraterrestrials rather than natural forces. They say many ships and planes disappear mysteriously in the Bermuda Triangle, like the American warship Pickering, which vanished with 90 crew members in 1800. To this day, no one knows what happened to them. There are many explanations for the Bermuda Triangle anomaly, ranging from aliens to unknown magnetic fields. But scientists believe the frequent shipwrecks are due to climate changes and the region's complicated geography. Regardless, the Bermuda Triangle remains one of the most enigmatic places on the planet. So, do you know any other places that are totally off limits? Share with me in the comments below. Well, that's it for now. See you next time, curious minds.